faded. And yet, these are extraordinarily beautiful. These are the reblooming Mildred Mitchell daylilies. Only about 10% of all daylilies are reblooming. So these are going to treat you with weeks and weeks and weeks of beautiful, they look like they're hand-painted flowers. And at a price tag that's very affordable. You will not find these in your local garden centers. At $38.78, we bring them to you in a set of 3. They are brand new today. Taking advantage of that easy pay, that's $9.69, and there is no shipping and handling. That's taken care of for you. You deal with a lot of different live plants, but this being our first show together on QVC2 in quite some time, Barbara, I think you kind of pulled out all the stops and brought us the best of the best first.
Thank you. This was a daylily that I said, okay, out of all the thousands of plants that we sell at my store, this hit the top of the list. This daylily is the most beautiful color I have ever seen. The petals are pink on the ends of the petal, like a bright fuchsia pink, and then they're ruffled. Also, then you go into the eye and it's this violet, blue, purple, and then your eye is drawn into the center with that chartreuse green and yellow center. This is a showstopper in the garden. It's so unique. It's so special. Our customers really fell in love with it. It is one of my favorites. And like all daylilies, they are known by gardeners as the perfect perennial. They require very little maintenance. They really do well with just Mother Nature. They are really disease resistant, drought tolerant. So, and this variety not only looks amazing, but Mildred Mitchell, who sounds very English, by the way, but Mildred is not only just gorgeous, each and every stem of her flower, of her plants, the stems, will have like 5 to 6 flowers on each and every stem. So this is a huge bloomer in the garden. This color is to die for. And I know you talked a little bit about reblooming. Being able to get those blooms starting midsummer to early fall is crazy good. And a reblooming daylily is not your average daylily. The color of this is not anywhere near your average daylily. But Dan, these are also fragrant. They're sweetly fragrant flowers, and then that violet blue eye, lime green throat, it draws you in. It's perfect for borders, containers. Oh, and the flower is 6.5 inches across. So when this is fully developed, like year 2, 3, that's when you get that huge show of flowers. So your first year is the investment in the dream. You will get some flowers, a few flowers the first year. Year 2 is a wow. Year 3 is a showstopper. And also, because of the color and the fragrance and the size of these flowers, hummingbirds love them. This is a flower that does everything in the garden that I want it to do. It attracts butterflies, hummingbirds. It's low maintenance, disease resistant, drought tolerant. You could plant it in containers on paths. It looks beautiful because it's not too tall. It's going to get like 24 inches high by 18 inches wide. They pretty much will take any type of soil. It'll prefer a well-drained soil, but containers, paths, even I know you and I talk about farms and slopes. This is a great plant if you have a slope and you need color and flower, that beautiful flower. Also, daylilies are that no hassle plant. So imagine having something this unique, so special, that once it's established, Mother Nature is pretty much going to do all of the work of keeping her fabulous. And that's a huge bonus for me. So then I can spend time on maybe some of the more maintenance plants that I need to tend to in the garden. This one is going to perform and it's going to bloom midsummer to early fall, and it's a really strong grower. You're going to put this in full sun
Yep.
to part shade. So lots of places for that. And one of the great things about this is once I plant it in, water it in, and it's established, I don't have to worry about getting a hose to where I plant it. So you could put this, away from the house without having to think about bringing a watering can or dragging the hose up there. This is that plant that is going to work from zones 3 to 9. So it takes heat, it takes cold. She is so special, though, in her color and her production of flowers, and the shape of the flower is absolutely stunning. The ruffled edge just is like the finishing touch on this gorgeous, gorgeous Mildred Mitchell. And I have all 3 plants here, and this is what they're going to look like year 3. All of this. So pick wonderful spots to put them.
I like the way the center looks like God took a highlighter pen to that.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you a daylily story? My
Yes.
father, the house that my father lives in back in Indiana, the house that I grew up in, my father made a decision to plant daylilies in the backyard. And he did it because he didn't like the neighbor. So the daylilies that I remember were this stale kind of peaked orange that everybody's seen those daylilies, but those daylilies still come up every year 50 years after they were planted. And they are such a hardy plant. You had mentioned things like highway departments. That's why they plant them, because there's no maintenance at all, but they don't look like the plant you see on the screen. These are equally as hardy, but 1,000 times more beautiful. The fact that they're fragrant and they're reblooming puts them in the 1% of all daylilies worldwide. And for us to be able to present 3 of them at a price tag that is so reasonable is wild. I urge people to place those orders now. There's no shipping and handling, and then Barbara and her people will ship them to you at the appropriate time for you to plant them. How do they ship, Barbara?
Well, you just go on QVC, you'll put your zip code in, and how do they ship? I'm sorry, I thought you were talking zip code there for a second. Here's how they ship. You are going to get 3 of these plant roots. They're beautiful big roots and easy to plant. You just will dig a hole large enough to hold your roots without bending them. Then I do a mound of dirt in the center there. That mound of dirt is going to hold up your root base. Let me just dig this out and show you. Plant that in there.
That's the fun part, is to plant, to
This
plant
is
something
the
that
fun
looks like a
part.
twig, and then a few weeks later you get this gorgeous plant with flowers. It's like a
Yeah.
miracle.
And you're actually going to cover
Yep.
about an inch over that tip and crown there. So the bud is going to go right under about an inch. You're going to water it in, add the blossom booster when you water it in, because that is going to give your plants that burst of energy that they're going to need to be producers like this. And that's it. So you get your 3 roots. You're going to get them when your zip code says that your area is supposed to get them. So QVC has made it so easy with when you receive your plants. You receive them when it's time for you to plant them. You'll get 3 of these, plant them in, water them in, and enjoy the garden that you're creating.
Barbie, you also present any of your live plants with a warranty to our audience, which is always so nice. Would you touch on that, please?
Oh, yes. Well, we want you to be